Live 3 miles apart on the Lawrence Corridor in Chicago. It's
semi-regular Sundays.
And we've been doing this for over 7 months now with our special guests from New York, Danette Rodriguez, plus Doc, Liz Greenwood, Nick Ogle, and Arlieta Hall. And now, an improv duo that needs no introduction.
How's it going, Stuart?
I'm great, thank you.
Yeah, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are the Flower Shop Bangers. I don't know, Stuart, you usually give this part of the spiel.
Yes, we are Flower Shop Bangers. We are an improv duo based out of Chicago. We have been performing together for about 7.5 years, and we have been hosting free comedy variety shows every Sunday and Wednesday during the pandemic, and probably until whenever the state of Illinois goes into phase 5, which for all we know could be next summer. But you've found a good night to tune in. We have some really awesome stand-up comedy for you, plus, of course, one very good improv duo. Now, Dan, before we I say a little more about the show, if you could say a few words about some of the fundraisers that we're trying to boost, as well as some of the small businesses that we're supporting.
Sure. I thought I'd draw attention to a couple of fundraisers. You will see a banner down below that tells you what they are. So first, there is a there's a campaign, GoFundMe campaign organized by the comedian Chris Red. He wants to try to help cover the medical costs of people who happen to be infected while at Black Lives Matters protests. Second, there is the bar that Stuart and I usually do this show at, Shakers on Clark. They're currently collecting tips for their bar staff. If you are at home and you are having a beverage, an alcoholic or otherwise, and you can maybe think of like what you would have paid for at a bar and maybe give that to Shakers, because they're a really great bar, really great patron of the arts as well. They do a lot of shows there, not just ours. There are several stand-up shows there. I believe they do burlesque on occasion, amongst other things, and karaoke. The karaoke is really great there too. Can't say enough good things about Shakers. Third, there is a gym that I go to personally. It's called Bodi Shak. It's a really great black-owned gym in Uptown. They do a lot of great classes. I have a link in the description to sign up for their classes, as well as a link to their GoFundMe if you can't make it there and want to support in another way. Last and certainly not least, there is the coffee shop on Asia on Argyle. It's called First Sip Cafe. It's a really great coffee and tea shop in the Chicago area. And yeah, no, I have a link in the description to get gift cards, and that's just about it. So if these businesses are not local to you, I would really highly encourage you to support your own local businesses, because, you know, these are just some that I picked out that I think I'm just kind of boosting just a little bit. And yeah, that's just about it. Back to you, Stuart.
Well, thank you so much, Dan. Tonight's a little bit of a unique show in that all of our guest performers tonight, all of our, I don't want to say opening acts, but all of our wonderful comedians tonight have all been in our remote show exactly once before. Everyone that we have on our show tonight is here for a second time. Some people, we have a couple of performers that were like in the early going, and a couple of performers that we had as recently as like mid-September. But nevertheless, we brought them back for a specific reason, because they're funny and they are very entertaining. Now, obviously, closing out the night, we have the regionally renowned Flower Shop Bangers.
Woo!
Note how I've mastered this weird clap. Years of training and practice. I learned how to clap in the Himalayas with a yogi. Anyway, immediately preceding the Flower Shop Bangers, we have New York-based comic Danette Rodriguez.
Woohoo!
Right before Danette, we have our dear friend, a woman of many nicknames, Liz Greenwood.
Woo!
Right before Liz Greenwood, we have another awesome comedian from Chicago, Arlieta Hall.
Woohoo!
And leading us off this evening, still yet another awesome Chicago comic. Please welcome to the stage, Nick Ogle.
Hey. Let's hey, can you turn everybody's mics on? Word. Okay, cool. Awesome. So my name is Nick. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the son of immigrant parents. My dad came here from this rough country in South America called British Guyana, and my mom came here from this third world country called Flint, Michigan. We grew up in North Carolina, and I moved here to Chicago to go to law school, and now I work out of a divorce firm, excuse me, which is a really weird place to be bad at your job, because it's like, you know, have you ever fucked up so bad you kept a family together? You know, it's weird. And I remember when my boss like asked me if I wanted to do divorce work. He's like, "Is this what you want to do when you graduate?" I was like, "Yeah, I've always had a passion for ruining Christmas." I got the job. Getting into law school was like pretty hard because I like did not have good grades. I wasn't into extracurriculars or anything. But I did end up getting into a lot of schools I applied for, which goes to show how far you can go when you check Native American on the box. You can go anywhere. People ask me like what was it like going to law school, and like as a Black man, I felt like kind of weird about it because like all the court cases we had to read were written like hundreds of years ago by judges who were like very old and very racist. So what I did was I just read 3/5 of any opinion. I think that's fair. I remember the day that I passed the bar was like a pretty shitty day because I was working at this solo practice. It's just me and my boss. And as soon as I passed the bar, he was like, "Great, you're fired. You can't work here anymore." And I was like, "Like, why?" He was like, "Oh, because like, you know, you're a lawyer now. You're not a clerk anymore. I can't pay you, you know, what I was paying you before." And I was like, "Wow, you're just gonna fire all your Black employees like that? Don't do that." One thing I'm glad about though with quarantine is that well, first off, let me say like is I hope everybody's like staying safe and stuff. Because like I did everything. Like I like wore the mask, I socially distanced, washed my hands, and I still caught depression. I caught depression so bad. So the thing is, like, what's crazy is like I didn't even know that I was depressed until until I started getting the same DoorDash delivery people like over and over, and like it would get bad because like I would get the text that's like, "Carlos is here with your order," and I'd be like, "Wow, Angie must be sick today," you know. Yeah, and the thing I like about like seeing the same DoorDash delivery people over and over is like it feels a lot like having friends who check in on you. Like I did have I opened the door one day and it was my delivery driver, and instead of saying "Here's your food," he was like, I'm like he said, "Sir, I think you have a problem." And I was like, very funny, like, "Give me the Chick-fil-A." And he was like, "Yeah, I don't have any food. I'm genuinely concerned for you." With quarantine though, like working remote is nice, but I do miss some job. Like my favorite job, I'll say, was like working with kids. And I really like working with kids because like, you know, they're very imaginative. Like they will believe in anything. Like I worked at this summer camp, and every morning like at camp I would like, we had this thing called the zip bird. It was just this giant yellow bird. And so like every morning I would get in this costume, this yellow bird costume. I'd be the zip bird. And then the kids would like actually believe I was a zip bird. They'd be like, "Oh my God, look at this dude with brown ankles and his exact proportions," you know? But one morning, I was done being the zip zip bird, and I was having breakfast with my cabin, and one of the kids, he looks up at me and he sees I have a feather on my head, and he was like, "Wait, what's that feather on your head?" And I was like, "Oh no, I just ruined the zip zip bird for these kids, right?" So I was like, "It's not what you think." And he goes, "You fucked the zip zip bird." And like, I didn't want to ruin it, so I was like, "You goddamn right, I fucked the zip zip bird." Another thing I liked about working with kids though is that you could use their mistakes as teaching moments. Like I had this one kid at camp who would not stop running around the pool. And so I blew my whistle at him. I was like, "Yo, stop running around the pool." And he didn't listen. And then of course he fell and skinned his knee real bad. And so after I finished laughing, I did go over and I gave him first aid, but he would not stop crying. He was just like, "Oh my God, why? God, why?" And so I looked down at him. I was like, "Look, God's not real. All right. Okay." All right. One thing I don't miss is like having to shake people's hands and stuff, because like I was never good at that. Like I'm just bad at saying goodbye in general, but like, and then Black people, we dap, like that's like this thing, and I can never get that right either. Like being Black and not knowing how to dap, it's like being in a white fraternity but wearing a shirt without a whale on it, you know? It's like, how do we know you're one of us? I was at this party and I was like socializing with, you know, some Black friends, and then this other group of Black people came over and everybody starts recognizing each other and everybody starts dapping each other up. And this one dude like came up and approached to dap me, and I was like, "All right, just gotta go for it. Like I can't overthink this, right?" And so we hit the hands like this. That was 1 for 1. I was like, I did not expect to make it this far. And then we bring it in. That's 2 for 2. And I think, holy crap, I can do this. And then it was in that moment that I said the one thing that you can't say, because like, we hit the hands, we brought it in, and right by his ear, I whispered, "I love you." I don't know why. Stay my ass at home from now on. I'm bad at socializing. I was definitely bad like at dating. Before this, I had gone on a date with this girl to a fast food restaurant because only God can judge me. And I went into the doors of this fast food restaurant, and she was already in there, and then she saw me. And then she came up to me and she was like, "Hey, it's nice to finally meet you. I have to be honest, I've never been on a Tinder date before." And I was like, "Don't worry. You know, it's how people meet, right?" So we go stand this line. I saw the line was real long, and I was like, "No, now I got to talk to her. I don't know about you. Every conversation I have is just me trying to find ways to not talk about anime." Like, and now that we're in my room, like the life is real. Like that's a Sora poster up there from Kingdom Hearts. Like, so anyway, she was trying to carry the conversation. I didn't have anything to say. And then she was like, "Well, what do you like?" And I was like, "Anime." And so I start pouring my heart out about all the different shows I watch. And then I could tell she wasn't into it like 8 minutes in. And I'll never forget this because she was like, "Look, dude, you're pretty weird. I don't know if it's going to work out because you are nothing like we were talking on Tinder." And that hurt because I don't even have Tinder. Like she mistook me for somebody else. All right, that's my time. Bye.
Woo! All right, Nick Ogle, everyone. Okay. Now, before we get to our next act, we do have a couple pieces of business. Well, this is basically how we've been doing crowd work in the year 2020. Dan checks in with our Facebook Live and YouTube Live audiences just to see if anyone is looking for a shout out or if they have any questions or comments about the show. Or if they just, something super random like how to get wine out of a rug or something. Fun muffin recipes. Dan, we got anything tonight?
I'm still waiting on muffin recipes. I don't see any of those yet. But anyway, it looks like there are definitely people watching. I did see someone did like the YouTube feed. Unfortunately, I can't give that person a specific shout out because I can't see what their name is when they only like it there. But if you do leave a comment on the YouTube feed, or if you leave a comment or a like on the Facebook feed, I will be sure to give you a shout out during the next break. Sorry, person who is watching, and I don't know who you are, but anyway, if you want one, leave a comment.
Oh, good. Thank you so much, Dan. And please keep tuning in and please keep supporting the show. And if you have missed any part of the show so far, this whole thing will be archived on the Flower Shop Bangers Facebook page right when this show ends, which at the rate we're going will probably be around 8:15, 8:20 Chicago time this evening. 9:20 for you New Yorkers. When Dan and I moved to Shakers and Clark, when we moved our show to Shakers and Clark, I should say, in July 2018, we began a 2-man campaign to save Chicago barprov. So a quick history lesson. In the early and mid 2010s, there used to be free comedy shows in bars all over the north side of the city. Dan and I cut our teeth mostly at the Underground Lounge in Wrigleyville, but there used to be shows at like AJ Hudson's, Mullins, Crocodile Lounge, Horseshoe, a couple of other bars that I can't think of off the top of my head. And it was something that I was really thriving for a while. And then one by one, these free comedy variety shows either started getting canceled, or the bars started going out of business, or people just started moving in a different direction. And so when Dan and I moved to Shakers 2.5 years ago, the very concept of barprov, kind of what really made us the improv duo that we are today, the very concept had its back against the wall. And I think at the time of the pandemic, I think it was down to our show and a show at the Holiday Club on Irving Park Road. So it's like, so we've tried to promote this, it's an opportunity, for comedians to test new material, for improvisers to get their reps in, all of that. And as an incentive for saving Chicago barprov, we have set up this improv tip jar. Yes, there is cash and change inside this tip jar. Notice that it's written in the finest Sharpie marker with the finest duct tape. And it's just an incentive for our performers. At the moment, we have $11.40 inside the tip jar, which means split between our 6 performers tonight, all of our performers are going home with $1.90.
Woo!
We did not tell any of our performers that this was a paying gig. I think one of them was at least semi-aware beforehand that this was a paying gig. But now I'm not expecting anyone to walk up to my 3rd-story apartment near Kedzie and Lawrence and throw money into this tip jar. Dan is not expecting anyone to walk up to his 3rd-story walk-up in Uptown and throw money at him. So we are encouraging you to Venmo those tips. My Venmo and Dan's Venmo should be above our heads on the Facebook Live feed right now. And if you are enjoying the show, please throw a little financial support to all of our performers this evening. Without further ado, our next comedian is originally from Chicago. I first met her at the Comedy Clubhouse in Wicker Park, where she is not only an improviser, but she's also done stand-up and also worked part-time there, at least, back when all the theaters were open. Really phenomenal comic. Let's welcome back to the show, Arlieta Hall.
Hey! Thank you so much, Stu. Thank y'all for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Again, my name is Arlieta, but you can call me R Leader, for the duration of the show. I go by she, her, hers pronouns. And I'm so excited that I just learned my pronouns because I was in a job interview and they were like, we want everybody to go around and say their pronouns after your name. I was like, okay. Arlieta Hall. And I said my prepositions, above, about, around, and beyond. They're like, no, your pronouns. I was like, I will go above and beyond the call of duty. They were like, no, your pronouns. I was like, okay, you need to call on somebody else because I don't know them. I'm super excited that I know who I am. And I freaking love the LGBTQIA plus community. Do I got any out here tonight? You know, where y'all at? I see you. So, you know, and I'm not going to say anything bad. I'm only going to say some good stuff, because if you say something bad about the LGBTQIA plus community, y'all know they stick together like a fraternity. They be lined up outside your door in your chat like LGBTQIA. Let's go to hell. How long you been in the game? A long, long time. LGBTQIA. You know, so we're gonna keep it cool tonight. Now, I'm not sure of those of you that actually are improvisers in here. Does anybody know what improv is in this room? Thank you. All right. So for those of you that don't, improv basically is like a scene performed on a stage without having any type of, you don't know what's going on. You don't have any script. It just comes off the top of your head. So can I get a suggestion of anything? I'm just going to do a one-person scene real quick, improvised.
Radish.
Who?
Radish.
Radish. This is a Stu just fucked me. Okay. This is going to be a one-person scene about a radish. I thought this was a grape. Scene. All right, that's a scene about a radish. No. So I utilize improv to be honest with you. So I caregive for my father, who is a person with Alzheimer's. So I utilize improv to caregive for him. So basically I have no fucking script. I don't know who he's gonna think he is. I don't know who he think I am, but I play with it every day. Let's talk about it real quick. So when I get over here in the morning, my daddy still think he a principal. So he like, what's on the agenda today? I'm like, well, at 10 o'clock, we'll be having a board meeting. At 11 o'clock, we're going to break for lunch. And at 12 o'clock, we'll have a teacher's review. He like, thank you so much. I'm like, I'll see you in a minute, Principal Hall. Walks off. Boom. First thing. Second scene. You know, like, these braids are so nice. But up under these braids, I have a short fro, a.k.a. I'm twinning with Larry Lightfoot. So 90% of the time, my daddy, he think I'm a boy. So when I come in the room, I'm like, how you doing today, sir? He was like, young man, go over there and sit down. I'm like, all right. Hey. You know, now I have a iPhone 7 Plus that my dad used to be a police officer, so he think it's his gun. So when he sees it, he'll take it like tucks and holster. You know what I'm saying? Walks around. You know what I'm saying? He'd be carrying it, go out to the back window, wave it around, put it back in the holster. So I had took it from him. I'm like, I need to make a call. You know what I'm saying? He was like, young man, you gonna mess around and get yourself killed. So so now I get my daddy in the shower. Now, things have been going very interesting in the bathroom. So when we get in there, you know, first we playing, which hole do I pee in? Pick a hole, any hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, could be the bathtub. Could be the sink. You know, sink look a little bit like a urinal. You know, then we go into the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, Daddy, let's just get in the shower. You know, take your pants off. He's like, take your pants off. I'm like, Daddy, take your pants off. He's like, you here for sex? I'm like, Daddy, it's me. He's like, oh shit, you better say something. So, once I get him in the shower, you know, I'm starting to give him his soap. You know, he be washing up, you know, even sing a little bit. It's going good. Everything cool till he sees that man in the mirror. Then he be like, hey, get out of here. Get out of here. So I be coming in the shower like, get out of the shower. Scene. So after I shoot up the shower, you know what I'm saying? Now, part of this disease is them being a wanderer. So he's always trying to like get out and go somewhere, you know? So I'm like, you know what? I mean, my daddy is 72, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I can keep up with him, you know? Let him outside. Cool. Wasn't cool. So I let him outside, you know? Got my phone out, did what millennials do, started Snapchatting. Me and my daddy are going for a walk today. So we in Roseland. I didn't mention that earlier, but I'm just telling you where we at on the south side. So as we walking, my daddy sees a woman. So he's like, ma'am, do you need help? So she starts running us. She like, sir, do you need help? I was like, no, I need help. He is a person with Alzheimer's. He think he needs to help you. Let him help you. This way. She's like, okay. I'm like, okay. So she starts walking with us, you know what I'm saying? We get to my block. I was like, I think we got this. You can go. So she fades to black, you know what I'm saying? Boom, scene with her. We don't have this. So as we walking, my daddy sees a blue Ford Taurus. Now, I told y'all he used to be a police officer. So he runs up to the car and starts talking to Detective Ghost. So I go on the side and start talking to Officer Casper. Now, as we having a conversation at this car, the owner of the vehicle comes out and says, hey, get the fuck away from my car. I'm like, hey, he is a person with Alzheimer's. This is our car. Get away from the car. We get to walking. Cool. Now walking down the street. I'm thinking we good. Next thing I know, my daddy starts running down the street. So I'm running after him, grab his hands. Now he's spiritual. So I grabbed his hands and started praying. I'm like, in the name of Jesus, if you could just remove confusion. My dad's like, Jesus, I'm looking for Jesus. So he running down the street, Jesus. So I'm like, Jesus, he is a person with Alzheimer's. Heal him. So finally got my daddy to run back around to the house now. Mandel and Rosa. So the pace bus pull up, okay? Now my daddy darts on the fucking bus. So I'm trying to tell the little pace driver, I'm like, excuse me. He is a person with Alzheimer's. He's like, get the fuck off my bus. Boop. So that was done with the bus. Finally came back home. Just in time to see Lady in the Reagan Red on the news. Now, I don't know if y'all been watching politics, but I've been watching them, okay? Now, Lady in the Reagan Red is Donald Trump Jr.'s girlfriend, okay? Now, she kicked off the Republican Party whole little speech. Now, y'all may have seen her. I saw her. I'm going to just reenact her real quick. So I turned on the news. She was doing her famous, America, we're going to make things great. The best is yet to come. It's not what you say. It's how loud you say it. I was like, what the fuck? So I looked up her old jobs and I found her resume online. Lo and behold, she used to be a lumberjack. Straight out there. You know, so I just want to... Oh my God. Man, so I just want y'all to know that really, did y'all vote? Anybody here vote?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, all right.
Working on it.
Working on it. All right. I'm gonna make my politic talks very brief. Because I feel like I got how much time I got left, Stu?
2.5 minutes.
All right, cool. Anybody I've been quarantined. I've been watching Netflix, Jeffrey Epstein. Let's just talk about it really brief. Now, as I was watching a Jeffrey Epstein documentary, it was a bunch of girls that came forward about Jeffrey. You know what I'm saying? So they had Jeffrey in this look. They had him in court. They were interviewing him. And it went a little like this. They're like, Jeffrey, we want to know, were you messing with underage girls? He was like, I plead the fifth. They're like, Jeffrey, we have on here that you had sex with some underage girls. I plead the fifth. Jeffrey, we have a victim that came forward and she described your penis as small and egg-shaped. Do you have a small egg-shaped penis, Jeffrey? This is over! Let me out of this motherfucker! I was like, oh, okay, all right. That's how we get men. So then I looked at Trump. I don't know if y'all know Stormy came out about Trump having a mushroom dick. So I just want y'all to know, Trump and all his friends been in the grocery department way too much. And that's how you really get a rapist. Now, don't vote for him if you're watching this. I said what I said, okay? Because you know why we not voting for him. Because the best is yet to come! No, I'm just playing. I've been having a great time with y'all tonight. This has been an amazing year for me. I got my first co-star role on The Chi. So if you all watch The Chi, please watch it for me. My name is Sadie on there. Now, small fun fact. Now, y'all know how stuff goes. Now, it's a very, very small role. So you got to rewind, play, pause. And you're going to catch us me. All right. Now, my name is Arlieta Hall. I had so much fun with y'all today. Please follow me. My Instagram is ARLIETA HALL. Thank you so much for having me.
Arlieta Hall, everybody. Thank you so much. Also, I love that shirt. Where did you get that?
Oh, his name is J. Rashad, LLC. You can purchase them online. I'm really from the suburbs.
Well, so am I. Downers Grove, represent.
Yes.
Yes. So the first and last time you'll ever hear anyone ever say that. Yeah, DG motherfuckers. All right, Dan, any quick updates?
Yeah, I thought I would give a couple shout outs to some people that I see watching. I see Emily Patterson as well as Brenda Pickleman. Thank you both for watching. And yeah, back to you, Stu.
Thanks, Emily. Thanks, Pickles. I'm assuming he goes by Pickles.
That's my teacher. Thanks, Brenda.
All right. So, as I said at the beginning of our show, we do this every Sunday and Wednesday, and we will keep doing this every Sunday and Wednesday until we can actually do this show in person again. When it is safe and COVID is somehow eradicated, we can actually be within 6 feet of other human beings. But in the meantime, we have some really fun shows lined up. Now, we do have a show coming this Wednesday, and it's going to be wonderful. But I want to take a second to promote the show that we have coming up next Sunday, November 1st. Dan and I tried something like this 2 years ago at Shakers, and we're going to do it again. We're calling it our People's Choice Night. Now, when Dan and I put the show together, we have a lot of decisions that we have to make. Determining like the running order for performers. We ask all of our performers, hey, do you have like a preference for like intro music? Do you have like maybe like a mental theme song, something that kind of ramps you up as you're about to do your comedy set or what have you? Just all these various things that we have to think about. And next Sunday, we're putting that in the hands of you, the audience. So that means you pick the running order. You pick the music that all of our performers will be introduced to. You even get to pick what I'll be wearing and what Dan will be wearing in the show. I've already set up the Facebook event. Just look up Semi-Regular Sundays, People's Choice Night. The more votes, the merrier. It is going to be a crazy freewheeling show. We just confirmed all of our acts for the next Sunday show. We have 2 stand-up comedians, a singer-songwriter, and a guy who does musical comedy. And I think 3 of the 4 acts are based in Chicago, just like now tonight, 3 of our 4 acts are based in Chicago. So please make sure to check that out. Again, we do this every Sunday, Wednesday at 7 Chicago time. Without further ado, we met this next comedian, I want to say when Dan and I were still at Underground Lounge. This would have been, I want to say, summer 2016. Is a next performer, absolutely intelligent, savvy, witty woman, a woman of many nicknames, including, but not exclusive to, Greenie, the Green Machine, the Duchess of Wyomissing, or simply just Doc. It is a pleasure to welcome back to our show, Liz Greenwood.
Woo!
Yay. Thank you, Stu. I appreciate all the nicknames that I think mostly I've gotten from you and no one else.
Pretty much.
Yeah. You guys, it is my favorite time of year right now. Mercury is in retrograde.
Oh.
Yeah. Do we know about this? This is like an astrological phenomenon where Mercury looks like it's moving backwards from the perspective of the Earth. But like, just to be clear, like Mercury is not actually moving backwards and frankly does not care what's happening on the Earth at all. It's just continuing to do its thing. But people here say that because it looks like it's moving backwards, it's screwing up like communication and technology and just like everything doesn't work. And the reason it's my favorite time of year is because it's like this beautiful 3 weeks in the year where whenever I screw up, I can blame it on a planet. Like I show up like late to work, I like miss a meeting. I'm like, oh, it's Mercury did it. I was not caring about this meeting. It was a planet. But it's a great time, and everybody knows how much I love it. That my mom sent me the perfect Mercury in retrograde gift, which was a box that used to contain AirPods with the AirPods stolen out of them. Like I this box was already open. There was nothing in it. And like, here's the thing though, I'm so like not tech savvy, and I knew my mom meant to send me AirPods and I didn't want to disappoint her. So I sent a picture of all the packaging to my sister and I was like, which part of this is the headphones? And she was like, those are all parts of a box. None of those are electronic. That is a real conversation I had. Yeah, you guys, we've been doing the pandemic for so long. This is my second time on this show. And I don't know if anybody else has had this experience yet, where you spend so much time alone that you start to like look back at your choices and figure out what you did that personally caused the pandemic. Like, I know why I caused the pandemic, because literally like there was that week in March where it hadn't started yet, but it had almost started. And that Tuesday I had therapy, and I started going to therapy earlier this year to try to figure out if I wanted to change jobs or like what job I even wanted. And so my therapist was like, let's talk about like the things that you like to do when you're bored. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so busy all the time. I like never, ever get bored. I don't even know what I would do. And she was like, your homework for this week is to get really bored and then tell me how it feels and what you do. And then like the next day, the NBA shut down. And like, the next day, everything in Chicago shut down. And then I was like, oh no, now I'm really about to get bored. And it's my fault, guys. But also like it's been like a weird set of exercises to do, trying to find a new career path. Like my therapist asked me if I knew any friends who had jobs that sounded exciting, and I was like, thought about it, and I was like, oh, you know who has a really fun job is my one friend whose job it is to run around after the geese at the pool and scare them away so that the kids can come swim. And she was like, oh, that sounds really interesting. Like, tell me more about this friend. And I was like, okay, so my friend is a border collie. So I didn't get that job. No, I've been like getting to do a few new things here and there, even though we can't do as many things. Like, for example, I for the first time I got a ticket for public drinking. Applause, please. A big accomplishment. No, I got a ticket for drinking in the park, and I don't know, I kind of thought that was just something we all agreed was fine, but whatever. The cops didn't care very much. They were like, okay, we have to write you this ticket, but we're not gonna like take your booze away. We're not gonna like make you stop drinking, just like pay this fine. And I was like, I didn't know the park was charging cover. Right? Like, just like throw in like a DJ, we call it good, like didn't even have to wait in line. Meanwhile, like the line at the Trader Joe's is insane, and none of my tricks are working. Like, I walk up to the front and I'm like, it's my friend's birthday, they're already inside. And they're just like, this is a Trader Joe's. Yeah, I've also like been trying to come up with like new hobbies I can do in the winter by myself. I've been getting really into skincare. I don't know if you know, I just learned what skincare really is. Basically what you do is you start by like cleaning your face so much that all of the like natural protective oils are removed. And you buy other products to replicate those natural oils, and you put them back on where your body's oils were. So it's spend $90 to keep your skin exactly the same. It's true. No, but I think, I don't know. I did get this anti-aging cream and it gave me a zit. So I do think it worked. We've been trying to like connect with our families in new ways. Like I've been playing Cards Against Humanity virtually with my mom, and she loves it, and I hate it because I always have to like teach her a new word. Like, okay, this last time she got the card queefing. Fucking had to explain queefing to my mother. Like, here's the thing though, she didn't believe me. Like, I was like, it's like when your vagina farts, and she was like, that doesn't happen. You're just regular farting and you're mixed up. And I was like, no, it like feels different. It sounds different. It smells different. Like, you know the difference. And she was like, no, I don't think so. And I was like, no, like it's really common when you're having sex. And she was like, no. Anyway, long story short, it turns out my mom has only ever done anal. Weird thing to learn about your mom. I do know too much about my mom's sex life. Like I know that I was an accident. Shout out to all the accidents. Statistically, it's half of you. Yeah. I don't know. I like being an accident. I think like it like keeps me motivated. Like whenever like it's really windy and I can't open a door, I'm like, come on, Liz, you made it through a condom. Right. I don't know. Honestly, for me, like 2020 hasn't been that bad. I think 2019 was worse in a lot of ways. Like in 2019, I got ghosted. And I know I'm not supposed to care that much about ghosting because ghosting is basically like third base now, right? Like we agree the bases are kissing, fucking, ghosting, new man, Vikings. Cool. I think that reference is now officially dated. That's fine. No, but like here's the thing. Like when I got ghosted, it was weird because like, okay, the last thing we did before I got ghosted was fuck. But the second to last thing that we did before I got ghosted was this guy bought me new kitty litter and changed my kitty litter for me. And that just feels relationship-y. Like, listen, I've heard of hit it and quit it, but I've never heard of clump it and dump it. And that is my time. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah.
Liz Greenwood, everybody. All right, Dan, another quick update.
Sure, I thought I'd give a shout out to someone I see watching. I see Yo-Yo Cab. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Yeah, back to you, Stuart.
Awesome, thank you. Also, our lovely improv barprov tip jar still hanging tight at $11.40. That means, again, each of our performers tonight are going home with $1.90. Just think, that will pay for 2/3 of a gallon of gas. Imagine all the wondrous things you could do for $1.90. That's 45 seconds of one class at Second City. Now, I suppose some of you are wondering, especially for those of you who have tuned in before or tuned in on the regular, what is with this goatee that I'm growing? Now, I told Dan this the other night. Let's just say that it's, now normally I don't have like gnarly facial hair or anything like this, though I did have a full beard a couple of years ago, but it's technically for my Halloween costume. I'm not going to be revealing what that costume is yet, but if you vote for it, that will be what I will wear for our People's Choice Night next Sunday. Again, the Facebook event is already set up. Just look up Semi-Regular Sunday, People's Choice Night, and you can go ahead and start voting. Without further ado, our final comedian tonight was first in our show about 5 weeks ago. We committed a little bit of a faux pas because I misread her music request and I wanted to make sure that I had the right song queued up. But in any case, it means a lot to us to welcome back to our show, Danette Rodriguez.
Yes, Wu-Tang in the house. That is so funny. Thank you. That's so much better. Well, that'll be my whole set, just Wu-Tang. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. Hi, everyone. My name is Danette. Please don't confuse that with Dinette. That's a furniture set. My mom also has jokes. So I am from Brooklyn, and I love to travel, and I miss it so much. I've been to Italy, Japan, the South Bronx. I get around. Whenever I travel, people are always surprised that I don't have an accent. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm from New York. I can't afford that. It's too expensive here. In case you're wondering, I decided to do stand-up because I wanted to learn how to give an opinion that no one asked me for. I noticed that when I perform and I get nervous, I run to the bathroom a lot, which is a weird place to keep the alcohol, yes. But I don't think I have a drinking problem. I'd say it's more like a thirsty issue. I like to stay hydrated. So I love making people laugh. Like, I think it is so much healthier than pushing them downstairs. So I recently read an article that said because of the pandemic, more people are becoming socially awkward. The last time that I felt socially awkward was never. That's what alcohol is for. A lot of people have been gaining weight during this quarantine, which I think is a mistake because you are going to be the first people we eat if there's no more food left. So I haven't cut my hair since August 2019, and I don't plan on cutting my hair until 2021. Just because we don't know what's going to happen between now and then, you know? Like, I might need to trade my hair in for some supplies. Like, I'm thinking that maybe I can get, like, 2 goats, a bag of rice, and a bottle of whiskey for this. And in case you're wondering, where are you going to find live goats? I live in New York, in Queens. There's someone that has them in their apartment. This is a fun show. It's weird because it's like the delays are like, wait, what? It's like dancing with someone I've never met before. It's so weird. Liz talked about getting ghosted. So I was very single during the start of the pandemic. And if you couple that with the amount of times I thought about death, there was nothing funny about it. I kept thinking that I was going to die and I wasn't going to be found until 2021 naked in front of my refrigerator. And my friend who lives in Colorado felt really bad for me. So she's like, Danette, just remember, Nelson Mandela was in prison for 27 years. You can hold on. And I was like, you bitch. That does make me feel better. Thank you. So after that weird conversation, I was like, I have to go outside and I have to ask someone if I can pet their dog. Because I went 10 weeks without physically touching another person. 10 weeks is a long time. And if you take into account that I'm Puerto Rican, that's like blasphemous. So that's what I did. I went outside and the first person I saw walking their dog, I was like, Miss, can I please pet your husband? And she was like, go right ahead. He's getting on my last nerve. I was eating a cupcake. I was eating a salad last week and I was thinking about cupcakes. And that's how I know that I'm ready for marriage. Because I have the imagination for it. That joke never flies with the Chicago crew. Is it because you guys are all married? What's going on? It's just because everybody in New York is single. And okay, bye. I won't use that ever again. Ever. So when phase 1 in New York started, I started dating because I am New York tough. And when phase 2 opened, I was already in a relationship. And by phase 3, we were already vacationing together. We went to the South Bronx. And by phase 4, he died of COVID. Just kidding. He ghosted me. But I have to say, like, him dying of COVID sounds so much better to me. Now, if you get ghosted during a regular year, that's like awful. That's like psychologically abusive. But getting ghosted during a pandemic, that's like attempted murder, you know? Like he left me for dead. But I believe in myself and I know he'll be back because WAP, you know? Got it. I love how Nick is like listening to EM, like he's listening to techno music and just like zone the fuck out. Cool. He didn't even like, okay. Yeah, it's awful. But you know, like the flags were there. Like his tag name was the Bulgarian Nightmare. That should have been like a red flag for me. I shouldn't have been asking him, hey, so do you have any roommates? My question to him should have been like, how many bodies have you buried today? But that's fine. It's fine. Like I have WAP. It's all good. By the way, I love Cardi B. Like she's from the Bronx. I am from Brooklyn. That's all we have in common. That's cool. So I am Puerto Rican, and a lot of people don't believe me. They always say things to me like, "Where's your flag?" or "You're so quiet." And I don't feel like I need to walk around with a Puerto Rican flag to prove that I'm Latin, you know, because that's right here. It's already tattooed on my left breast already. I tell people it's true. I cook with rice and beans. I worship J-Lo. I speak huepa. And they're like, no, you're too quiet. You're too white. So that's usually when I stab them. With the knowledge of my island. San Juan is our capital. Maya West is where I'm from. Please go visit. We still need the tourist dollars. So I am the oldest of 5 children. So you guys are all looking at a pioneer. Came out of my mom's young vagina first. I think being the oldest is why I still don't have any babies, you know, because I've done my time babysitting. I've changed diapers. I've fed them. I've lost them at the mall. Have you guys ever lost a kid at a mall? Okay. Well, it's terrifying, especially when they come back. It's like, how'd you know how to do that? So during this pandemic, I've been practicing self-care, and that is when you take care of your mind, your body, and your spirit, and you stay 6 feet away from Facebook. Part of my self-care is seeing an online therapist. So every Thursday at 12 p.m., I meet with her forehead. So I'm really hoping for a breakthrough where I get to see her whole face. Part of my self-care is also taking care of myself. But sometimes there's haters out there that will prevent you from taking care of yourself. For example, last Sunday, I was taking a nice bubble bath, minding my own business, when my neighbor from downstairs knocked on my door and was like, Danette, every time you take a bath, my ceiling leaks. Can you try taking a shower instead? And I was like, that's not how bubble baths work, Frank. And then this morning, I was making myself a nice green smoothie, minding my own business, you know, with the vodka and the chia seeds. And then my neighbor from next door was like, Danette, can you get out of my kitchen, please? And all I could say for myself was, but I'm wearing a mask. And you left your kitchen door open. What's up? I'm glad that the fall season is here, because when it's too hot out, I have this really weird habit of standing in front of the refrigerator naked. I picked that up from the Bronx. Don't judge me. And so the problem is that like last week I was in the supermarket and they like said they were going to call the cops on me if I didn't get out of their frozen food aisle section. And all I could say was, but I'm wearing a mask, chill. Guys, this was such a really weird show for me. I don't know where the laughs were. I think they were like in the back of my head somewhere. I'm like, I don't know. Are we here? Thank you so much for having me. I really get to see you more. My name is Danette. Thank you.
Danette Rodriguez, everybody. Danette, you were wonderful. Thank you. You really were. All right. Okay, so one more check-in before we get to our final act, Dan.
Yeah, sure. I see. I just thought I'd give a thank you to everyone who's watched so far tonight. And also, if you like our show and you want to keep up with it, you can either like the Flower Shop Bangers on Facebook, or you can subscribe to the Flower Shop Bangers on YouTube. Either one works. You can, keep up with the show and watch it. We do this twice a week. So, yeah, back to you, Stuart.
Thank you so much, Dan. And again, we do this every Sunday and Wednesday. And I just thought I'd mention that our show this coming Wednesday will have some sort of a vague Halloween theme. I'm still kind of fleshing it out. And we have 4 phenomenal comics, all of whom have not been in our show before. In fact, I think I've met 2 of them through Twitter. We're going to have some musical comedy, courtesy of Lauren Mayer and Carla Ulbrich. Plus, we're going to have stand-up comedy from Sophia Florence and Cole Clayton. So please make sure to check that show out. Also, again, next Sunday, November 1st, last show before the actual election, is our People's Choice Night. Please bring those votes in. We'd really appreciate it. Also, just want to take a moment before I forget to thank all of our performers tonight. Danette, you were great. Doc, Nick, Arlieta, thank you so much. You were phenomenal. Without further ado, your final act of the evening are the co-hosts and the co-producers of Semi-Regular Sundays, which until 7 months ago was 2 or 3 Sundays a month at a bar called Shakers on Clark in Lakeview in Chicago. They've been performing together since spring 2013, and they have performed in improv festivals in cities as far-flung as Omaha, Nebraska, St. Louis, Missouri, Green Bay, Wisconsin, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Baltimore, Maryland. They also performed in the Yippee Fest Virtual Arts Festival this past August. Please welcome the regionally renowned Flower Shop Bangers.
I thought I did notice one other person just liked the video, so I thought I'd give a shout out to Mark Romanowski. Thank you for watching.
Oh, thanks, Mark.
Yeah. Also, if you look above, you will see both Stuart and my Venmos again. They're right above. So if you want to give any last-minute donations to the improv tip jar, all those donations will be split equally amongst the performers tonight. Split 6 ways tonight. So we are the Flower Shop Bangers. We're going to do some improv for you, and we get weird with it.
Oh, that was a good meal.
It was great. Honestly, dear Lord.
Oh, God, that really hit the spot. Oh my God, that was.
We used to come here every week. Remember that?
I know, right? I mean,
it was every single week. Ugh.
I forgot how filling a meal at Monty's can be. I mean, it's a feast.
Yeah, I know. It's absolutely a feast, and
you have to admit, you get your $12 worth.
You do, you know. I mean, I've never left unsatisfied here.
No, never. I'm glad we rediscovered this restaurant.
Yeah,
I know it's been rough during the pandemic and everything, but I'm glad we were able to dine in a restaurant one more time before they went to cold lockdown.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't know. I guess just when I get a meal from a restaurant, I want to be satisfied, That's just...
Absolutely. I mean, it's a safe bet. That's for sure. It's like we found this place 5 or 6 years ago. And man, the menu here at Monty's has a high batting average. I've never been disappointed by anything that I've ever ordered here.
Well, they've made very few changes to the menu over the last 5 or 6 years that we've been here. It's kind of just been consistent.
Don't fix what isn't broken.
Don't fix what isn't broken,
Exactly. People come here for the sandwiches. They come here for the burgers. They come here for the seafood. They come here for the pasta.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah. I mean, it's a wide-ranging menu, too.
It is a very wide... Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know. They somehow made this large menu that has just worked.
I mean, they have deli food and dim sum. I mean, I'm just trying to wrap my head around that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can get sushi with a side of French fries.
Hmm.
It's quite something.
Mm.
Oof.
Sushi and fries. That's I think that was the first thing I ordered here.
Yeah.
What it was 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like sushi and fries. Okay, that on paper that sounds strange.
Yeah.
I tried it and it's actually not bad. And you get your option of sushi too. I mean, you get a California roll, you could have an ahi roll. I mean, it's like whatever you're into.
Oh Lord, and then for your dipping sauces, for your ketchup, you have your ketchup, you have your garlic aioli, you have barbecue sauce as an option. Hell,
Mhm.
I hear they offer like buffalo sauce.
Yeah, I mean they've got the sign up front. I mean
Yeah.
they've got buffalo sauce. I mean, I tried fries with wasabi. Not bad.
Wow.
It's strange, but again, it's not bad.
That sounds a little strange. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess when I think of a sauce for a French fry, I think of like a creamy texture.
Mhm.
Maybe, and kind of some type of, I don't know, I guess a bit more of a salty flavor,
Yeah,
a sweeter,
for sure.
salty flavor,
Oh my goodness! I mean, I mean, you go someplace like this. I mean, you have to anticipate the sodium's going to go through the roof.
Yeah, no, I just accept it,
You're wading your toes into some dangerous waters,
Yeah,
especially.
no, I gotcha, my family
Yeah.
has a history of high blood pressure and I just partake.
Yep. Yep. I get it. I
Mhm.
get it. And I'm glad that this was our last meal before you got transferred to Portland.
Yeah, it's gonna be a road. I'm
It is.
driving out there actually Thursday.
Oh, well, you're talking about like it's supposed to be tomorrow morning.
I mean, they're giving me some relocation time right now.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I mean, but damn, I'm gonna miss having these power lunches with you.
Yeah, I know.
I
They were.
mean, let me know how the dining scene is out in Oregon.
I'll let you know.
I mean, at first when I heard you got the promotion, I thought, oh wow, he's gonna get like all the lobster bisque you could possibly eat. And then I realized you're going to the other Portland.
Yeah, you're right.
I know
Oregon.
nothing about the Portland, Oregon dining scene, but Portland, Maine, it's like, oh my God, you can get like a $10 lobster meal. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I gotcha. Honestly, I don't know that much about Portland, Oregon either. I just, it was a good opportunity, so I took it.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll go learn,
I mean, I know it's a hipster enclave. I don't really know too much else about it.
Yeah, I
I can't.
gotcha.
I've never been to Oregon.
Hmm.
I mean, you're going to be surrounded by redwood trees. You're going to be, I think there's some mountains out there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I don't know. I guess there's
Weed.
weed. Yeah,
Yeah.
there
I
is
mean,
weed.
Oregon has fuck tons of weed.
Yeah, no, I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, how soon were they in terms of like, legalizing it?
Oh, I mean, they would jump the gun as far
Yeah.
as that's concerned. I mean, Jim Belushi quit acting to grow weed in Oregon.
Really?
Yeah. And hey,
Wow.
if it doesn't work out at the Portland branch, I mean, you could probably you can start growing your own or something
I
like
could
that.
start growing my own. There's a world of possibility out there.
Yeah, move out to Salem, move out to Orem.
Wow. I had never considered growing my own weed, but I'd also never considered, moving out to Portland, Oregon. So
Yeah, exactly.
I guess maybe I'll discover something about myself. I mean, you'll do great here, though. You'll do great staying here.
I mean, it's the office is not going to be the same without you, Ted.
Dave, don't say that. Everyone else is going to be here. It's just going to be one less me.
Man, I mean, I like to think that our team, everyone that we had in our department was like, they're all like organs of a body.
Yeah.
And you were like our heart.
Oh,
I sincerely mean that.
really?
I mean, I like to think that you were kind of what was keeping everything pumping.
Hmm.
I personally like to think of myself as the esophagus of the team.
Okay.
It just I'm all about what's getting digested.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I can go on and on about comparing everyone in the office to a particular vital organ or something.
Hmm.
But
yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, I thought of you as the stomach, actually.
aw,
the stomach, you know, you kind of,
Oh my God.
I don't know, you kind of take everything in and you make it digestible.
Thank you. I was so
Yeah.
afraid you're going to say it was the gallbladder. You can live
No,
with that,
no.
but your diet's going to be fucked up.
No. You're not the gallbladder, man. No. I very much not the gallbladder.
Thanks. I'm just, I guess I'm just a little nervous because I feel like there's been so much change in the office in the last year.
It's true. And I mean, yeah, no, you will have a new VP of marketing come. What's he start? He starts on Monday, doesn't he?
Another IPA, please.
Mm.
Yeah, we've got the new VP. I mean, there's all these people that started around the same time that I did that are either moving on from the company or they're moving away. I mean,
I gotcha.
Again, you're going to the Pacific Northwest and you're going to smoke fuck tons of weed.
I don't know if that's going to happen yet.
Okay,
but maybe it will. Maybe it will. Maybe I will smoke fuck tons of weed.
Well, maybe you'll run into like Fred Armisen and Carrie Brownstein, or
maybe
you'll open up like a tricycle repair shop or something like that, or go see some weird band play every night.
Honestly, I think I'm going to be a senior vice president of marketing, like I got hired for the job I'm going out there for. I don't know. It kind of seems like you have some like hipster fantasies out in Portland that you're suppressing right now. I'm just throwing it out there. You're the one who's talking about all these things I'm apparently going to do. I didn't plan to do any of those things. Is this about me leaving, or is this you being jealous about me living in Portland right now?
I'm going to be honest. It's a little bit of both.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
It's just, I don't want to come across like I'm projecting or anything like that, but it's like, damn, I'm starting to get bored with this city.
I gotcha. I mean, they're rebuilding it, man. It's Detroit.
It's Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean, technically I live in Oakland County, but it's still Detroit.
I don't know. I feel like the only place it can go is up at this point.
Yeah, true. I mean, it was worse, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
You had more piles of coke in downtown Detroit than you had buildings that were occupied.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when there was that epic power outage, and I think it affected like 12 people. Yeah, the big power outage of 2012.
Yeah. Oh man.
But this sounds rebuilding bit by bit. I mean, it's not strictly an automobile town anymore. I mean, you've got tech firms like ours. I mean, you've got maybe like a little bit of an art scene, just like a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's still a ways to go.
Yep. There really is.
It's not a horrible city.
I'm trusting that we'll be there though.
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind going out to Portland and like walking around in a North Face jacket, year round, and it's Portland embraces the weird, so maybe I can come to work on a unicycle or something.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean, you're talking about Portland now. You're talking about Portland like you're moving there.
Oh God, I wish.
Because I mean, I'm moving there, but I mean, truth be told, I mean, should I put in a recommendation if a job opens up out here?
No.
I don't know. I feel like this sounds like something you really want to do. You just need to push in the right direction.
Oh my God, I've been fighting with this for a while, and it just once I heard of you getting promoted and being transferred, I just then this idea that's been in the back of my mind just kind of went front and center.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I get it, It's a really nice place, but I don't know. I feel like kind of weird right now being in this situation where I feel as though I'm just moving because I wanted to, and I'm somehow living out your fantasy in the process.
I mean, thanks. I mean, I don't want to live vicariously through you. I mean,
because I'm going to be honest, most of the things you're describing, I'm probably not going to do. Like,
I mean, I
not,
get it. I mean,
yeah.
there's a lot of responsibility to being a regional vice president.
But it kind of sounds like right now your ambition is to move out to Portland, Oregon, and to start a pot farm.
I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean,
don't start saying it wouldn't be a bad idea.
Fine.
You are dismissing your own dreams here, man.
I want to grow some fucking weed in Oregon, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now you said it.
It's a lot more tax friendly than Washington State.
Yes.
Yes.
You've said it.
Yeah. But at the same time, I guess based on what little I know about Portland dining, I guess they have a good Chinese restaurant scene. They've got a couple of good sushi places, you know, probably at least one good vegan barbecue. I mean, that's my guess. I mean, if you want to go ahead and put in that paperwork, go ahead. It just, I mean, because I can confide you, Ted. I mean, we've known each other for going on 20 years. We started at the company together in February 2001. It's been almost 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I can confide in you. I know how you operate. You know how I operate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, yeah, go ahead, man. I mean, just, I mean, I don't, it's nothing's tying me to Detroit. I mean, I'm divorced. I mean, I don't have custody of the kids. I mean, you're divorced. You don't have custody of your kids.
I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Quite honestly, I stayed because, you know, I liked my job, and quite honestly, this diner was great.
It really is. I mean,
it's a great diner.
I mean, if this was going to be the last time you're going to dine at Monty's, I mean, it may as well be my last time too. And then, you know, I can, you know, visit my my 7th grader and 5th grader whenever I have an opportunity, you know, next time I fly in from Portland.
You're doing it then?
May as well.
That's our show.
That's our show. Thank you so much to all of our performers tonight. Thank you so much to everyone who's tuned in. If you have missed any part of tonight's show, it will be archived on the Flower Shop Bangers Facebook page right after this show ends, sometime around 8:15 tonight. In the meantime, please stay 6 feet away from strangers and acquaintances. Please wash your hands. Please vote Biden. Believe women. Black Lives Matter. Have a good night.